So, hello, and welcome to another episode of Good Fat Life with me, your host, Sherri Richards, and our beautiful Good Fat Life magazine that is behind me here. So, I just invite you to check it out. There's lots of great articles in there, and we are currently working on the next issue. So it's always a work in process. So that said, today what we're going to do is talk a little bit about visualizing and what kind of using our senses, because I had a really interesting conversation this last week in Florida. I was there with my doc lab, which is the cohort. It's the people that are going through my PhD with me. So it's a group, and we get together once a year. And it changes. It will change because we don't all progress at the same rate. So anyways, so there was a new person in my cohort, and he has quite a story. He was in a football game when he was 15. He's running down the field, carrying the ball, and he got tackled, and he got injured, and he became a quadriplegic, and he was told he would never walk again. And that was about 30 years ago. And so he is walking again. It took him about 18 years of showing up every day, doing the hard work, the physical therapy. But what got him through, and what is kind of like the genesis of the conversation today, was he felt himself walking. He felt into it. And so, I've heard so much and done a lot myself with visualizing. You have vision boards, or you visualize what it is that you want to create. And until I heard him say he felt himself walking, it didn't dawn on me that for me to do a vision, not a vision board. Vision boards are fun because you've got all that stimulation, right? You've got pictures and stuff. But to visualize something to me is work. It's in my head. I have to be in my head, and it's kind of like hard work. I have to think about what it is that I really want to see, because sometimes I just don't know. But when he said, I felt myself walking, it's like I always know how I feel or how I want to feel. That one was easy. And so I was talking with Johnny here, our studio tech. I don't know, Johnny, what would be your official title?
My official title would be studio engineer.
Studio engineer. So he makes all of this possible. And so we were talking about that. And so when I said I could feel into it, Johnny was kind of like, well, but feeling is you actually feel yourself moving, taking that step? Is it a sensation that you feel the bottom of your feet? What does that look like? And so it just was like, I don't know. It just asks the deeper question. So when we are wanting to create, because so much of Good Fat Life is about creating the life that you want, and in order to do that, it requires that we visualize, that you see what it is that you're wanting to do. Maybe it's travel that you want to do, trips that you want to take, or a mountain you want to climb, or a book you want to write. It could be a garden you want to plant. It could be a million different things, and everybody's going to be different. But it always starts with that idea, and then it translates, right? So it translates as a vision in your head or a feeling in your body. I mean, like I know when I drive into my house, how I want to feel when I drive up to my house. And what I want to see. So I feel it first, and then I see it. And I know there's other people who see things, maybe then they feel it. So I'm kind of, I don't know, Johnny, what does this bring up for you?
So when you and I were talking a little bit about it, I had never really thought about it before when a person says a feeling. And you and I kind of discussed, right, sometimes you have that gut feeling of something that happens. For me, a gut feeling, I couldn't explain it. It's just a gut feeling. I don't feel nothing. It's just a gut feeling. But when I said that to you, you said you actually kind of feel something when you have a gut feeling, right? And then I kind of
I do. When I have a gut feeling, I literally feel something in my gut. Like it's like, okay. But and the challenge though is we can get kind of diluted. Sometimes we can get this when it feels bad. What I've learned is when it feels bad or it doesn't feel energizing in any way, it's more of the ego. It's more of the ego saying, "Oh, don't do that. You're gonna be
Yeah.
unsafe," right?
Hmm.
But when it's energizing and when I'm kind of like scared sighted, it's pushing, it's pushing you out. It's like, oh, for some reason I need to go to this event or I need to call this person or like you said, I need to double check my system. I just feel like there's something there that is saying to me, pay attention to this. And that's a positive feeling. There's a
Yeah.
different feeling,
It can
right?
be very helpful. It can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Right. So that was just kind of one thing that thought about. Right. And then I kind of talked to you too, kind of about that whole body tingle that you kind of get sometimes. It's like almost a happy wave that you just don't want nobody. I know that's different than what the gentleman that you met talked about with a feeling, but that was another type of feeling that made me kind of start thinking. And what really drew me to what you were talking about was it just really made me say a feeling compared to a vision. Did he feel, was he in his vision and his feeling, was he actually thinking that he was feeling like the wind blowing, the old sensation of the grass on his feet, his muscles moving, you know, what exactly what it was feeling. And then I won't keep on talking, but I'll let you kind of expand on this too. Then we started going through, is that a personal experience where you got to step back if you don't really know the person and not ask for them to expand on what is this feeling?
Well, it certainly brings up the conversation, right? It's and that's another question. Are feelings and visions personal? Like, well, they would be deeply personal. And when do people want to talk about them versus just have that be their own thing? So, so I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like their own feeling.
Right. So we're exploring because so much of Good Vet Life is about creating the life that you want to live. And in order to do that, you have to have the idea or the intention or the awareness that this is something like you want in your life. Like, again, it was, do I want to climb a mountain? That's on my bucket list. Or I want to write a book. Or what's some other things? I want to grow a garden or I want to be a 5-star cook or whatever that is for you. It doesn't just happen. You don't have the idea, I want to be a 5-star chef, and today you're a 5-star chef. It's a process, and there's skills involved, and even for me, chopping an onion is a physical skill that I really suck at. I would love to be better, but if you eat something at my house that has an onion in it, it's going to be these random chunks.
Mine too.
Yeah, right. So anyways, but the point is that we have to have somewhere in our body, whether we see it or whether we feel it in our heart or we have an intuition in our gut, there's going to be a sensation that we have to move this idea forward. And maybe it's a combination. Maybe we see it and then we feel it, or maybe we feel it and then we see it. I think it's like all of our senses. And to your question, Johnny, do you actually feel it on your skin? Do you feel it in your inside? Do you feel it in your heart? I don't know. But it's certainly gotten my attention, and I've found that for me to start with every morning with the feeling of what it is I'm wanting to create is so much easier than me to start with the seeing or the vision of what I want to create. It's like it just blew my mind. It just blew my whole world wide open. And it's made me wanted to ask the question, to
Yeah.
the people, what works for you?
Yeah, because I guess that would be a good question to ask, your listeners, and that is, has anybody really ever sat down and thought about that, of what different kinds of feelings do they have, right?
How
with
do you
just the
use
things we were talking about,
Yeah,
right?
how do you use your senses? Because it's what we're really talking about is our senses.
Yep.
So anyways, so everybody's different. So I would just ask the question, what do you see things first or do you feel things first? And then once you have that, what comes next? What does that look like for you? And I'm really curious to know. I would love some feedback about it. I just want to learn more. And so anyways,
Staying on feelings, totally different than what we're talking about. But just imagine the feeling that guy had when he took his first step, right? Totally different kind of feeling, but was the whole body tingle? Was it the euphoria, right, of going on? That's just had to be great.
yeah, it's driven him, it's kept him engaged and kept him going because he could feel it. And like to your question, I didn't ask any deeper of what that looked like, but because it was just so eye opening to me. I mean, literally, it was kind of mind blowing to me to say, oh my gosh, and it's powerful. We have this with us 24/7. And all the research shows that if you can harness, right, harness your emotions or your feelings and then put that out into your actions, you're incredibly powerful. So that
No,
said,
no doubt. Good.
that said, I just ask, for you to look at how you process the world and move forward with the things that you're wanting to create. On that happy note, I want to do a shout out to Snedicor's Cleaners. One of the things that's happening in my world is I'm cleaning out my closets and putting in new organizations, which is very exciting. And I realized that I don't use my ironing board. Thanks to the good people there at Snedicor's, I just put my stuff out in my yellow bag on the doorstep, and it comes back all clean and pressed and ready to go. And I don't have to worry about ironing. Ironing used to be a huge stress for me. When I was younger, I would have to iron, and we'd get all the ironing done like on Saturday for the week. But the world is different now, and so I let them take care of it for me, and I really appreciate that ease as part of my self-care. So thank you to Snedicor's Cleaners. We love the service that you provide. So on that happy note, go out and live your good fat life.
And thank you, Sherri, for letting me join the show today.
Yeah.
I've
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
recording 200 and something episodes now, and it's, I think, my first time on camera with you.
Yeah. I thank you, Johnny, for being here. It's, because you're always here. I mean, you're always here. So thank you for.
I'm always here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here and exploring that a little bit deeper with me.
Okay, bye-bye.